and a warm welcome. This is New Dawn Nigeria on Viewer Television, the program where we bring to you updates on the major stories that have happened in the country in the past week. Unfortunately, Phillips is unavoidably absent this morning, but he sends his warm regards. And over the next 90 minutes, I will be your host, along with a lot of other guests and analysts, bringing you major stories to keep you engaged on your TV screens. I am Chinonso Pam, and New Dawn Nigeria begins right after the break with the major headlines.
The game of polo, it's my life. Polo is good, though I just started and I'm still learning the basics. But I hope to be a pro in this game, and God being by my side, I know everything will be fine. I started 4 months ago. I started stick and ball 4 months ago, though I attended the riding course in Pakistan. I've learned the riding basics, but the game of polo 4 months ago, I started stick and ball. Every day we mount on the horse, we pray, and once we come down, as you can see, I was about ending and I fell from the horse. It's a normal thing. In horse riding, if you don't fall, you've not started yet. So you need to train. You can see I'm sweating, I'm eating banana, it's part of it. You must train, you must eat well, and you must learn properly. I've chosen polo to be my own sport, and I've always looked up to people like General Kazir Faya, General MSA Aliu, Colonel Waibello, and General Laka. A few of them, I've looked up to these people. These are great polo players, and they've always encouraged me to play the game of polo.
Welcome back. You're still watching New Dawn Nigeria on Viewer Television. Now we go straight into the major headlines, telling you of the stories that made the front papers of the dailies in the past week. Remember that you can visit any vendors to get any newspaper, or you can visit their websites and get updated on the stories of the past week. So we begin with July 10th, Monday, July the 10th, where a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, on Sunday disclosed that he has no regret working 100% against the presidential ambition of the People's Democratic Party, PDP's candidate Atiku Abubakar. Also on Monday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Sunday emerged the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. He emerged chairman of the 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government in Bissau, capital of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Congratulations, Mr. President, are in order. And the Anambra State Governor, Chukwuma Soludo, has directed the Mesoma Joy Ejikeme, the female pupil, who falsified her unified tertiary examination results, be handed over to the state's guidance counselor. The governor said the directive followed one of the recommendations of the panel constituted to investigate the matter. Now, we know that that story has been making sensational conversations around the nation. Now, Mrs. Betty Akeredolu, wife of Ondo Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, who has been ill for a while now, has announced the suspension of activities lined up for her forthcoming 70th birthday celebration. This is coming after some critics questioned the celebration plans amid the ill health of her husband. I wonder why she had to wait for critics to begin to throw comments before that celebration was going to be called off. Now, for failing to provide details of the projects executed or being executed with the 5 billion returned Abacha loot, A federal high court sitting in Abuja weekend ordered the administration of former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari to account for the funds. The court also ordered the government of President Bola Tinubu to disclose the exact amount of money stolen by the former head of state, late General Sani Abacha, and the total amount of Abacha loot recovered. And also July 10th, the decomposing corpse of an Abuja-based construction engineer, Humphrey Naji, has been evacuated from his apartment in the Dawaki area of the Federal Capital Territory. It was gathered that the engineer was at home when some suspects gained entry into the premises, killed him, and fled. And now July 11 stories making the headlines. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Monday lamented that most of the people who are supposed to operationalize the Nigerian constitution are the ones undermining the country's democracy. So I think those concerned should pay attention to when somebody like Olusegun Obasanjo makes a statement like this. And according to Obasanjo, an example of constitutional abuse is a situation where members of the National Assembly fix their own salaries. And the governor of Niger State, Mohammed Umar Bago, had terminated the appointment of all political office holders appointed before May 29th. According to a statement issued by the secretary to the state government, Alhaji Abubakar Osman, on Monday, Governor Bago ordered the dissolution and termination of the appointments with immediate effect. And no fewer than 8 persons were killed. No fewer than 8 persons, including an 8-month-old baby, so unfortunate, have been killed in Farin Lamba community of Wang district of Jos South local government area of Plateau State. The attack took place at Sabongari community of Mango local government area of the state. I think Mango has faced a lot of insecurity challenges in the past, and we're hoping that some bit of support is brought to that community. And now Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has extended his 1-month medical leave indefinitely. The notice of extension was contained in a letter to the Ondo State House of Assembly. Now, best wishes go to him, and we hope that he is back to his feet and back to his governing duties in no time. Now, the member representing Jos South and Jos East Federal Constituency of Plateau State in the House of Representatives, Dachong Musa Bagos, has asked his constituents to embrace constitutional means of defending themselves. Bagos said this in reaction to the renewed killing in Mangu and Jos South local government areas of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. Sorry, that's a mix-up. And let's move on to July 12th. The Asset Recovery Committee set up by Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alier on Tuesday stormed the automobile workshop owned by former Governor Samuel Otom with towing vehicles and removed some vehicles. Alier, through his chief press secretary Kula Teso, recently disclosed that government vehicles numbering 29 were allegedly looted by the past governor. I think this has become a thing where outgoing members of government take away government property. I think that is a practice that is soon becoming cultural, soon becoming our tradition, that has to stop. And operatives of the Obonyi Police Command have killed 2 hoodlums who were allegedly enforcing sit at home in the state. The hoodlums were said to have shot sporadically into the air within the Oposi area in Ohazara local government area of Ebonyi State while trying to enforce a sit-at-home order on Monday. Operatives of the command engaged them in a gun duel. And also, President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday in Abuja described as unfortunate the killing of an 8-month-old infant in the recent violence in Plateau and Benue State, north central Nigeria. He directed security agencies to fish out the masterminds of the killings, insisting that they must make the face full of wrath of the law. And also, the House of Representatives had constituted an ad hoc committee to screen the recently appointed service chiefs. Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, who announced the setting up of the panel on Tuesday at plenary, said all the 8 principal offices of the House from the majority and minority parties will be part of the ad hoc committee. And former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been appointed Global Advisor to Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet. Osinbajo confirmed the development in a series of tweets on Tuesday. He's to assist GEAPP's mission of accelerating clean energy deployment in developing countries. Our congratulations are in order, Mr. Vice President. And on July 13th, the Chief of Army Staff Major General Lagbaja has dismissed amnesty pleas for bandits and terrorists. I guess we do not negotiate with terrorists, and people have likened this to the agitations in the Niger Delta and saying that the bandits should get the same treatment as past President Yaradua did for the Niger Delta. And I don't think this is the same. I don't think this is clear armed robbery, and this is clear non-state actors trying to get a hold of Nigeria, and we shouldn't negotiate with them. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have thumped down the 500 billion palliative proposed by President Bola Tinubu, stating that it is grossly inadequate to assuage the hardships confronting workers sequel to the fuel subsidy removal. And also the scheduled arraignment of the Resident Electoral Commission in Adamawa State, Huda Yunusa Ari, failed on Wednesday as he didn't appear before an Adamawa State High Court in Yola, where he was billed to be arraigned. The prosecuting counsel for INEC, Rotimi Jacobs, the senior advocate of Nigeria, expressed disappointment over the failure of the REC to appear before Justice Benjamin Lawan. Also, Nigeria has redeemed a $500 million Eurobond taken by the administration of ex-President Goodluck Jonathan in 2013. The Debt Management Office, which disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja on Wednesday, said the Eurobond was paid on July 12, 2023, its due date. So Nigeria did not default on that. So that's kudos to us, I guess. And in Imo State, the police command on Wednesday paraded 53 suspects on various crimes in Imo State. At the command's headquarters in Owerri, the state police public relations officer, Henry Okoye, stated that the suspects were arrested following an operational strategy the command introduced. And that's all we can take on the major headlines of the week. Don't forget, you can stop by any vendor and get your papers and get updated, get the full stories happening behind this gist. And our State of the Nation is next. We're going to be having conversations with analysts. Please do stay tuned and join us again. Welcome back. You're still watching New Dawn Nigeria on Viewer Television. Now, there has been agitations by Nigerians about palliatives to help cushion the effect of the subsidy removal upon Nigerians. And on Thursday, the presidential spokesperson on behalf of the presidency made a declaration of a state of emergency on food security in Nigeria. And palliatives, we are seeing signs of palliatives being released in no time. And here to help us break down all the declarations of the government is Mr. John Desmond. You're welcome this morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for coming in again. It was a pleasure having you the last time, and we know it's going to be a wonderful and eye-opening experience again with you. So first off, let me ask what your thoughts are, what your general thoughts and assessment are on the declaration made on Thursday, declaring a state of emergency on food security in the nation.
Yeah, it is a welcoming development. It's a good one. It's a way of noticing and knowing that we have a leader that is in tune and in line with what is going on in his country, because this pronouncement was done as the result of the sudden removal of the fuel subsidy,
Yeah.
and that has affected a lot of activities. And government should not just be silent or quiet, not knowing that people have started on passing through a lot of challenges. And so the declaration, it's a welcoming development, and it is a way to go by it.
Yeah, I think I also must commend the government on their proactiveness. Yes, to issues. They're not just leaving us silent whenever things are happening. They are always coming out to make Tele Alake is doing a very good job with keeping us informed and up to speed with things that are happening in the nation. So let's begin to break down these declarations that were made. We saw that the government said amongst things that should be done, immediate release of fertilizers and grains to farmers and households. What's your take on that to help with the present,
In fact, as
in the short term,
know,
if I can say that?
I'm a practitioner in terms of entrepreneurship development, and I'm into agro business.
Okay.
So when I heard of releasing fertilizer to household and grains, I was very, very, very happy, because as of last week that I wanted to buy fertilizer, the 50 kg of fertilizer is going for about 25,000 naira. So how do you think the people will have
As
afforded?
against how much was it?
As 8 to 10,000.
So are these fertilizers and grains, are they going to be subsidized, or they are being given free to farmers?
Now, the palliative is a grant. They are
It's a
free.
grant. Okay.
They are free.
Okay.
That's
So they
what
are being
government did
given-
during COVID-19.
Yeah.
And this is another opportunity for us to cushion the effects.
So if
of-
we try to match this to the palliatives of COVID-19, how are Nigerians going to ensure that this thing comes down to the farmers?
Now, how did it get to the people? This is where the government needs to also work hard. The government needs to take it as a personal responsibility and set up a task force, not to send it directly like the last time that they were sent to states were holding it. They were sent to local government. No, there should be a task force that these things are moving from Abuja to various locations immediately. As it is said, let it be done. There shouldn't be a bureaucracy. Let people, we have a way of identifying ourselves now. Already there is national database to assess farmers, to assess household. These things are already there. But the way and manner that they are distributed is what brings a lot of blockages. It has to go through the state, the local government. No, this is a presidential initiative. It should be therefore be carried out by the presidential task force. There should be stationed across either the 36 states or the 774 local governments, so that they can reach out quickly. If we can able to overcome this within the next 2 to 3 months, though government is projecting a 6-month drive.
Yeah.
But if we can achieve 50% of this initiative in the next 2 to 3 months, our country has picked up. And
before we go further, do we have any idea of the roadmap when these things begin to roll out?
the presidential spokesman, Mr. Dele Alake, say immediately.
Immediately.
Just as the fuel subsidy was removed immediately.
And
We're expecting
like you said, we have the data to help begin to roll out this immediately.
Of course, we have refunds, we have various. He stated it that they are going to engage various organizations and associations. They are going to engage various organized activities or groups that has been responsible for this over the period of time. The nice idea, a lot of people are taking credit from NISA. It's opportunity for NISA to contact them and then give them further assistance to complement what they are doing. The Bank of Industry is there, the Rice Association Farmer, the market agencies are there. What government needs to do is just, they shouldn't they say they are going to involve the Ministry of Agri. I'm not so comfortable with them
Why
because
is
of the
that?
bureaucracy.
Oh, okay.
Because of the bureaucracy that's
Okay.
involved in their activities.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you don't want
most of the
anything
things
to
that
delay.
Ministry of Agri has done, the results are not actually visible to us. So let this be totally presidential initiative, and for a new government to give it more earnings, to give it more compliments for Nigerians, for Nigerians to give it more acceptability within Nigeria. Let them take it as a tax, a great tax
Great
before
tax,
them,
yeah.
that can make them sell their name cheaply to the people of Nigeria.
Is your association independent of the Ministry of Agriculture?
Yes, of course they are
You're
independent. They are not funding anybody.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's just that because of what we do, the ministry has a lot that we can do it, because most of the funding and development agency come through them.
Okay.
But the level of bureaucracy there are a lot of palliatives, a lot of government intervention that align wasting in their offices across the nation. And the media, you can take up that, you can visit Ministry of Agri, their stores across the nation. Look at what happened during the palliatives. People are hungry and goods were held.
Yeah.
So there should be a tax force. There should be a tax force that within the next 5 months, Nigerians know where they are and what we have achieved.
All right. I have lots of questions coming your way, but let's take a breather and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. You're still watching New Dawn Nigeria, and we're still in conversation with John Desmond. Right, so I mentioned that we still have a lot more to inquire from you and get your views. All right, so I am of the opinion that the hike in prices of food items and food commodity is not just as a result of the subsidies being removed. I feel like there are a lot of factors that have been coming that was going to lead us to this, and I know a lot of analysts have been projecting this over time. And I want to pick the conflict and the clash between herders and farmers as a pointer. Do you think that has anything to do with the increase in food prices now? I know food is available, but the prices is the problem right now. Do you think that the clashes we've been having with farmers and herders is also a contributing factor?
Of course, there are a lot of factors, and that is one.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't
dwell. All right. So because I'm picking that because I feel like amongst the things that we should be considering is security also for farmers.
Yes, one of the points raised by Dele Alake was that they're going to engage the military to provide security for our farmers.
Okay.
To also encourage more farming, to have a safe farm activities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I hear that if farmers have been able to engage, I know some people have not been. We may not have had the need to transport our goods from far distance, because I know some farmers in some areas have not been in production for some time. Am I correct? Am I right? All right. So moving on. What about transportation, movement of food, and should we begin to consider using avenues like the rail and all of that, and not just saying it, but actually implementing things like
One of the things that this palliative, the subsidy remover has done, it has exposed the failure in our system that has been managed for a long time. Let me give you, for instance, the major challenge of subsidy remover was transportation.
Yeah.
Nobody should tell you petroleum is not used for heavy industry. It is diesel or gas that we are using heavy industry. And for a long time now, subsidy has been removed on that one.
Yeah.
Now, why suddenly for light industry or for light vehicles, the removal of subsidy is crippling the economy? Why suddenly? Now the question is because for over a period of time, there is no long-term plan for national development. It fails at the federal level and it fails in a lot of states. But there's one state that is outstanding when we talk of long-term plan.
Which is?
Let's look at Lagos.
Lagos. I knew that.
For what? Lagos can caution the effects of subsidy removal in the next 1 week. And Lagosians will be eternally grateful to their government. What do they need to do? Just introduce more BRT buses. And people will park their personal cars. Is it not okay? So this is long-term plan. A lot of states, some states, their transport system is dead. So what have you been doing? Now, what is the role of government? Look at the FCT. I was telling somebody that, look, this is what can be done in FCT. And somebody even told me that we don't even have bus stop. How many people know where is bus stop in FCT today? Now, this is what government's responsibility is supposed to have been. There is no long term. Look at the last administration of FCT. For 8 years, what exactly can we lay our hands and say this is what this guy had achieved in FCT? We had a man among them that was there for 8 years.
And we can't.
So it just exposed the failure of our system. What is subsidy removal? Government can no longer continue paying for this again, though it's still as a result of government's failure, because we have refineries, we have NNPC.
Yeah.
If there's another government can say, look, let's even close down the whole NNPC or the whole refineries and sack the people, the money that we have been using
because
to pay.
allocation is still
going there.
Places. Yeah.
You know, we need to take a hard decision that will better the future. It's not, we have been living on today. Nigeria has been living on today. Everybody today.
Because long-term plans are also things that we should.
Because the evil days will always come. The rainy days will always come. But it's whatever you have prepared for it that is going to be used when those days come. And here we are. We can no longer sustain fuel subsidy as a nation.
Yeah, the days are here. All right, so moving on, palliative measures, right? The government has said that they are giving 8,000 naira monthly to households, 12 million families for the period of 6 months.
12 million people.
12 million families. So, and now we don't know if this is individuals or families. 8,000 naira monthly for 12 months, for 6 months, beg your pardon. What's your take on this?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. But it's still for consumption in a long run.
Exactly, because my view is that nothing. What is backing up this cash transfers? Because nothing is backing it up. It is for consumption alone, right? Nothing is backing it up, and I don't know. I don't know how that helps. It helps a lot. Recently, I was driving between Kwali and Quetta, and I saw some young people who just closed from their school, and I took them, dropped them in Quetta. Now, on our way, I asked them, how much was your transport before? They told me it was 100 naira. And how much are you paying now? They say 300 naira. Now, in that case, it's when we talk of the poorest of the poor or the less privileged, our status are not the same thing. There are a lot of people who this subsidy removal has crippled their activities. Okay, so 8,000 naira per month can
really support family, can turn around things for family.
Let's break that down.
Yes.
Let's break down 8,000 naira.
Yes.
A paint rubber, I don't know the weight
The
right
eight,
now.
you see, the 8,000 naira is not for, we are looking at it as for feeding. No.
What are they going to do with it?
Many things. I just told you now.
Healthcare.
I just told you now. I took some young people from their school. They used to pay 100 naira before. So, and they go to school how many days in a week? 5 days. That is 500 naira. That has now been translated to 300 naira. 300 naira times 5, that is 1,500 naira.
But
so in a month, how much do you think that for 4 weeks that will give them almost 6,000 naira? Now 4 weeks, this used to be 2,000 naira. So where do you want this person to get the fraction of 4,000 naira?
If we want to be realistic and logical, you know that almost every family will use that money for feeding.
No, you see,
and that is why I feel like if we want to really affect,
now the family always have their money for feeding. Okay, this is coming as a compliment. For instance, if you have 10,000 naira to feed with at your family budget, and suddenly your transportation had changed to 6,000 naira, where are you going to get the 6,000 naira?
Your budget for feeding to as 10,000, remember, because of hiking prices, has also changed.
So
the immediate need now is to try to
let's do the math. Let's do the mathematics together.
All right.
Your feeding has changed. Your transportation has changed. Something new has come into your expenditure.
Where do you think families will prioritize?
Wait, just hold on. Now, where are you going to get the differential? Because you must live. And what government is saying is that, look, in the next 6 months, because of this policy that is going to cause heat, that is going to generate heat for everybody, please, we are supplementing you with 8,000 naira. So whatever may be the differential, please bear with us. It's for the future.
This is good.
Yes.
This is good. I am not saying it is not.
No.
Good,
On a larger economic, when I heard it, as somebody that majors in development, I was afraid with borrowing for consumption.
Yeah.
But in the other way around, we need to also look at immediate cost of it.
So that's why I say
it's not a long time project, just for a short time.
With.
It's for short time. Yes. In the next 6 months, begin to plan on how to manage yourself. Begin to plan on how to adjust yourself. But while you are planning, please take this responsibility. We will bear the cost with you. But after these 6 months, look, it's your time. You have to adjust your own self.
Okay, so there are other concerns about this palliative now. Mode of disbursement right now. Nigeria says we have a social register and we have 46 million people on that register. How many people do we have in the poverty line in Nigeria? How are we sure that the people that we need to reach are on that register?
You see, there's what Buhari administration did during the COVID, and they did that through the NISA Bank.
NISA Bank. Yes.
Where nobody knows what is happening. It was advertised, and the advertisement keep coming every day. Register online, put your BVN. People were selected. Nobody visited anybody. Nobody know where the money came from, and a lot of people got it. Government should still adopt the same thing.
But will this get to the poorest of the poor if the government adopts this? Because a lot of these things happen online. You will need to have data. You need to have a smartphone for this.
The target for palliative is not the poorest of the poor.
So why are you giving somebody who can afford it 8,000 naira?
How do you know the person can afford 8,000 naira? Let's look at. You see, these are the. Now let's correct some impression here. What is the minimum? What do they call
minimum wage?
Minimum wage in Nigeria.
30,000.
What do you think is a graduate salary working in federal ministry? What is that salary? And let's divide it maybe according to family expenditures. What government is saying is that for an average Nigerian, there's a change in expenditure. And for us not to hold ourselves to ransom, we are responsible people, and Nigerians belong to all Nigerians. Therefore, we are supporting you with 8,000. This project is not targeting the poorest of the poor. The poorest of the poor has their own windows, okay? Which is coming. Which governments will look into it. Government has been doing it. Government
so
is
not the first in consideration right now.
Who are the consumers of petroleum products. Is it the poorest of the poor?
But this is not just affecting petrol consumers.
It's
They
affecting
transport.
everybody.
They get to transport too.
It's affecting everybody. See, this major is to checkmate the imbalances in daily activities.
Okay, talking about
So,
check
who are
balance.
those people involved in daily activities?
How do we combat credibility and accountability to see that this money is actually good?
Well,
Because
that
I
is
know
where
it is
all
going to
hands
be
must be on
transferred.
decks. That is where the presidential spokesman said they are going to involve a lot of agency. You know, when you talk, you shouldn't because of failure without making, because of the fear
Yeah,
of failure
and
without
not-
making
and not make
attempt.
effort.
So let's leave that now. Let's see what we can achieve. Of course, if we achieve 70 to 80%, we have made progress.
Yeah.
So the
You
failures
said
is like,
this is supposed to be in the immediate.
Yes, in
and
the
we are
immediate.
still talking about let us involve, so it means we'll still have
not that
some
let
time
us
before
involve. These stakeholders are already
Are
available.
already
They are just,
available.
as we are talking, they are meeting.
All right, that's
Yes,
great.
as we are talking, I'm from the villa this morning, and
That's
I saw a lot
great.
of faces coming together to begin to
That's good,
deliberate on
because
how
I know,
to go about
like
it.
I have a couple who stays with me that her daily transportation to work is already 16,000, and I wonder what that is
So
out
you see,
of her
you
pay.
see now that
Right.
is a very productive personality, but the subsidy has affected her living standard.
Yeah.
So this palliative now is going to support her and bridge the gap for her.
Yes, it
That
will.
is the target.
It will. It's a good initiative.
It's a good
that
initiative.
We must applaud.
Yes.
But we know that there are a lot of other factors, human factor,
Of course,
data,
of
lack
course.
of data in the country.
That
yes.
is what the nation has suffered from over
Yeah.
the time. It's not.
And it's so
what-
unfortunate that we still have to.
We have to work
do
with
this
what we
under
have.
What we
Yes.
have. Yeah, I know that. But before we let you go, because we're beginning to run out of time, I want to get your views on the speed at which the National Assembly signed this bill and granted the president. And also let me know what you think about 70 billion naira being approved to the lawmakers, like to help what it was stated to help enhance
new-
the activities of the new. Yes.
You see,
What's your take?
there's
that?
nothing like speed the National Assembly took in passing the bill.
It was
Then
speed in
what is it? How
24
is speed?
hours.
No. You see,
We don't see
see,
that
we should-
happening in other bills.
which of the bill?
But it's 24
This
hours.
bill-
That was quite hasty. It's good. I'm not saying it is not good, because you're seated to be proactive, right? So I'm saying it's I just feel like because there was personal gains, I know this money is not going directly to them. There was personal gains. They need to move back into their chambers and all of that, all the work
Now,
that needs
now
to go on.
you see, there is for we young Nigerians, there is a way we have viewed things before, and that depends on the orientation we had about things. What is the difference between National Assembly and presidency in terms of passing presidential bills or
is the
assenting
difference?
to? What is the difference? One, there is no difference. There won't have been different if the National Assembly is made up of opposition party. This is initiative of the government in power, and as expected all over the world, each assembly is always populated by the ruling
the
party.
ruling, yeah.
What that means is that it's a political ideology. It's just like your office. If you want to go out, you make some request for buying fuel, and you send it to your MD. Your MD will send to the accountant. It pass through the auditor. So you have time limit to do this. You have a time.
So why then do we say that the three arms of government are independent?
Yes, they are independent because when this is approved, there's what we call oversight function of the National Assembly to check whether this money is used. The approval shouldn't be delayed. It's how it is being used that if it is not properly being managed, that the National Assembly will raise questions and objections and,
Alright.
and observation to it. It's not a fighting
So
institution.
you feel like there shouldn't have been a redress, or there shouldn't have been Nigerians are sacrificing this. Can we in the National Assembly? Maybe we know that this allocation has been there
Every
since last
member
year
of
and all,
National
but just
Assembly should
can
support
we just-
such project because it's for Nigerian people. It's for their constituencies project. It's for all of us to benefit
So it's
from
not
it.
just because there was a caveat there that you guys have 70 billion naira coming your way.
No, they don't have 70 billion naira coming their
It
way.
is there.
It's statutory. It's what is benefits. but because it has to pass through the appropriation, and that's why it's made public like this. It's not a gift to them. It's not a palliative to them.
No, of course, we know it's not a palliative.
So
we know
it's
not
because
a palliative.
it's part of their benefit that we are
and it has
scrutinizing
been it has been in
the bill. So
it's where I'm coming from is there has been talks of Nigerians have to sacrifice Nigeria. The legislators, to you guys you are doing well, like.
But they say that for new people to enhance their learning.
Yes.
So there needs to we have a lot of new first timers in National Assembly, and they need to learn legislative process for development, for betterment of their of their job. It's not just to say sacrifice. How can you sacrifice what you don't know? Sponsoring a bill, oversighting some of your basic function, it's a big tax. A lot of them employ professors to check what they have to do. And these guys needs to be paid. These are not the issue. The issue is that whenever we have been, whatever the appropriation has been made for, is the spending, is the accountability that is the issue. We can vote for to anywhere.
Another issue, lastly, before you go, is that this has come out. These palliative measures have come out while the labor union and the trade union congress are still in conversations with the government. Should the government have waited for whatever comes out from that?
No.
So this
we have a country to run. Yes, we have a country to run. We have a people to cater for. While labor is negotiating, all these are for the future. But we have what we call the immediate effect. Business are shutting. People are refusing to go to work. You need to take some field study and go and check a lot of queries that is going on. Why don't you come to work? People are no longer meeting up with the official time. So should this to decline? So should we continue this while waiting for negotiation of labor? No. This, a lot of people have been celebrating this government that they have done a lot within 1 month. I've joined that.
Because I was going to ask you what your scorecard is. What you give the government?
Yeah, because you see, when we are going to the same direction, it doesn't matter where you pass through. As long as I can see you that you are coming to my direction. One matter is that we're going to meet. That's what this government is doing.
Thank you so much, Desmond. I think if we continue in this, we will continue on this conversation. It's always amazing to have you around, and we hope to have you again. Fortunately, that's all we can take on State of the Nation this morning on New Dawn Nigeria. We still have more coming your way right after the break. Amazing rendition of the national anthem, I beg your pardon, by an artist, and she's with me in the studio this morning, Jessa Joan. You're welcome.
Thank you so
and
much.
And you look incredibly amazing this morning.
Thank you so much.
So I must say that when I saw this, and I'm like, wow, you must really love this country, and you're dressed in green.
Yeah.
So what was happening when you sang that anthem?
Okay.
Or you just...
Yeah, so yes, of course, definitely. I'm Nigerian, and of course, I love Nigeria. And yes, my favorite color apparently is actually green.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So apparently, I've been singing the national anthem ever since primary school.
Okay.
I attended, of course, my primary school. I've been singing in primary school and in secondary school. So I've always loved, of course, I actually didn't know I could sing. Let me be honest with you.
Okay.
I used to sing.
I'm coming to that question.
I used to sing in my class, and I'm like, no, let's be taking the national anthem. I'm like, okay. Then I also it's been from school days.
The whole school didn't have to sing the national anthem.
So someone will be in front of the assembly, and you will lead the national anthem.
Oh.
So apparently, I've been singing the national anthem.
So I actually thought you did this maybe to mark Nigeria's independence.
Yes. So I was gonna say that, and of course, I decided to do this, official video too. I think I did this one last year. Was it before the independence? Yes, to mark, and we uploaded it, of course, too.
Okay, I'm sure that has opened a lot of avenues to come and sing the national anthem. You need to sing the national anthem at this.
Yes, we've been singing. I actually had for the Nigerian Bar Station. Apparently, this is our Law Week Abuja branch.
Okay.
I actually did a performance yesterday for the opening ceremony. Yes.
All right. So Jessa Joan is an artist, but she's not just an artist. She wears a lot of hats, and we're going to be unveiling and unwrapping all those arts and everything. I must say that when I saw your profile, the first thing that hit me was, how does she do all of that? Right? How does she do all of that? So let's begin to unpack your life as a recording artist. How has that been?
Well, firstly, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience, and of course, it's also been challenging. But overall, I'm in love with music. Music is my passion. Apart from the other things I do, of course, I'm a lawyer by profession. I love law. It's inbuilt. It's my career. I also have an LLM in business law, so I'm a commercial lawyer apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not into litigation because, of course, it doesn't apply. The rules doesn't allow that. So yeah, music is my passion. Yeah, well, there have been lots of ups and downs. Of course, as an upcoming artist in Nigeria, it's not so easy when you're not in any record label, or you don't really So for now, I'm just doing lots of covers, doing my music. I recently dropped 2 of my songs also. I do lots of covers. I do performances.
Were these your songs or covers?
Yes, covers and also my songs. There's Marry Me, there's Show Me You Love Me. It's actually out.
Marry Me. Marry Me.
Yes.
Marry Me.
The Baba say you want to marry me. Yeah, so yeah, I did a song to inspire young men and young girls out there. I mean, if you're not going to marriage, make sure you're ready. Don't just rush into it.
Talking about to inspire, what's your biggest inspiration as an artist now?
Basically, my biggest inspiration, I would say it's my mom. I mean, she inspires me every day because she's very, very hardworking. She's a go-getter, and of course, my inspiration it comes from what I see around. I mean, I drive, and I just from the things I see around society, things going on, I want to make a change in the society. So I want to use my music to make a change. So my music is more of societal values and impact and love, in the society. We need to preach love more, and we need to do more rather than just only talking. So my music is to impact. I want to make an impact. So that's what inspires me every day. That's what angers me every day to want to,
So do you see something and you're like, oh, I have to sing about this?
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
what happens, right?
That's what happens. I just take my phone and just record it. Yeah.
So
I
do
just,
you have a particular, I'm sorry, do you have a particular genre that you feel more comfortable expressing?
yes, I
This
do.
what genre is
I'm
that?
an R&B singer and also Afropop because yes,
Okay.
people say, oh, you have so much energy, you need to put it into yourself. Okay, yeah, okay, we can't just do only R&B. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can infuse Afro and pop. Yeah, like
Okay.
you can see Beyonce.
Yeah,
Beyonce, she does
yeah.
R&B, like you can see, when she's singing, she has so many songs, Pretty Hurts, she's doing her
Yeah.
R&B, when she's doing her, you're
She's
the
in.
one I love. So it's a mixture of,
I really see the energy and I love it. All right, so talking about what was I going to? I'm talking about music now in Nigeria. How has the acceptance been?
So yeah, basically, firstly, I've had lots of encouragement from my friends, my family, of course. I recently just told my dad I sing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He didn't know.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I didn't put it out there because I mean, a lawyer, you've gone to law school, you know your masters now.
You now want to
So I've
sing.
just been doing the music on the line, but I didn't put it out there to him that, see, oh, this is what I really want to go for. So yes, he's accepted it. I sat down with him for 2 hours and we're
Aw.
talking, and he said, okay, that's good, but make sure that this goes hand in hand with your when you want to get married. Make sure you tell him everything you're doing with your
Very
business,
important.
your profession. Make sure I explain to him, and it's like, oh, the Nigerian Bar Association, they're even supporting you. That's good. You've been performing in their events and all. Well, that is very, very good. Do your decent music. Acceptance globally, well, for a female musician, or should I say rising star in Nigeria, I would say it's kind of, you really have to push, and you really have to be strong, and you really have to hold your values strong. Like, don't allow, I would say to young girls out there, don't allow anybody push you to make decisions that in the long run you're not going to be proud of. And also people need to really discover themselves, like what kind of music suits you, and don't rush. So for the acceptance, it's been good, but it's a bit challenging because I mean, some people are like, oh, no, no, no. So I noticed something. Thank you. I noticed something about shows, and you must have noticed it too. If you go for comedy shows or you go for shows generally, you see more men than women perform. You can see,
Oh, yeah.
So you can
because
see.
the industry belongs to them. So,
Funny enough,
so
there are so many female musicians. We have so
but
many.
they are thriving in the industry more than that. Is why it's always a challenge
Yeah.
when female artists are trying to rise, and that's why we always have to ask, how challenging has it been for you to rise?
So it's been, because there was this show I was supposed to go for, and I think they had put my name, and I went, I'm like, oh, sorry, your name is, I'm like, wow. First of all, when you want to sing, you must be calm, and you must not. I'm like, okay, well, so I'm like, okay, I'm even the only female performing, and you
Oh,
guys
wow.
are even supposed to be like, wow.
Wow, this let's
And
pay,
and we were just having issues. Of course, my manager was trying to sort out what was. So I noticed it's been challenging,
been
and
challenging.
I don't
But
think
we're-
female
but you're
musicians
going
get
there.
lots of respect.
but you're
supposed to
going,
get.
but you're keeping at it.
I'm keeping at it.
You're
I'm
keeping
pushing
at it.
strong.
Yes. So you mentioned earlier that you didn't know you could sing. So when did you realize? I know there's this song line that an artist, Brandon Heath, said, I didn't know I could sing. I figured out I could sing. Now I'm not who I was. When did you notice you could sing, and how did that point really change how you view yourself? Like, oh, I have to.
So I entered university quite early. I think I entered at like about 15 years old.
Oh.
First university, Ibadan, before I went abroad. So I'll be singing in class. Oh yeah, I read a lot. One of my evening reading, I went to class, and I was just singing this there's a hero if you look inside your heart. And everybody now started clapping.
Oh,
So
wow.
meanwhile, like Leeds City University is quite big. And everybody just started clapping. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And they stood up, and some people came to me to like, oh my
Wow,
god,
they
I'm
stood
like,
up.
I'm like, I did like so. It was at that point, to be honest, I realized I could
This
sing.
was what school you said?
Leeds City University
When
in
you-
Ibadan years ago,
Then-
and I was
oh.
like, I just used to sing. Of course, the primary school and secondary school national anthem were just come and sing.
Yeah.
It's not like I was taking it as okay. They're telling me to sing because I can sing.
So that
I
moment
just felt
came as validation to you.
that
like,
moment came as
okay, this is
validation.
not just me singing. In
And
my
another
bathroom.
thing, but I had while growing up, I had a friend that was such a singer. Like we're still friends. If it's she sang Amiria. If she's singing, you think it's a radio station. So I think I don't know if it's psychological, but she was always singing, and anytime I'm singing, she would be like, your frog voice, your frog voice. So probably like I was always hearing her sing too. So probably that also had an impact in me. So since I was 16, of course, I've been singing.
Okay. So you said you're a practicing lawyer. You're also interestingly a shoemaker, right?
Yes.
So how is that? How is that? Shoemaking, law, there are other things too.
Yeah, so yes, basically after I was this daddy's girl. I don't know how to say I'm still daddy's girl, but after university, of course.
Still be a daddy's girl.
Okay, after university, of course, reality checks in. Like you have to go for your service, your pocket money is slashed and everything. So I went for my service. There's the Said program. Everybody, you learn shoemaking. Those that want to learn, sewing and everything. I tried sewing, but that needle pricking it wasn't working for me. So after Decide, we went, of course, to our different, deployments. There was this lady that used to make shoes, just very close to my shoes, beads making and everything. Pretty much NYSC is the time when you should probably really make use of it, because we're literally not doing anything after work. And CDS days, of course, some offices just give you the day off. So instead of just moving, I'm like, I don't like being idle. I don't like being idle. I always like keeping myself busy. So I started going there. I told her, what does it entail? I fell in love with shoemaking. So I love creating things. I love making furnitures. I love making my clothes. Whether it's jeans. No, I mean, if I want to make, I love creating things. So I'd rather
see the work of your hands.
Yes, I'd rather see things made than just buy them. So I fell in love with shoemaking, and we finished learning it, and I came back to Abuja. Meanwhile, I served in Calabar. I came back to Abuja. It's time to get work and everything, and reality. What am I going to be doing? I decided to further the shoemaking. So I learned shoemaking, bag making, belts making. We learned how to make beads also. So at this Redeemed Christian Church of God in Wuse too, we learned it. Then I went to do my master's and also furthered it at University of Ibadan. So let me tell you the trick. While I was learning the shoemaking, of course I didn't have a job. I want to work in a law firm. I need to work in a law firm. Meanwhile, in Calabar, I didn't serve at a law firm. I served at a company as a lawyer. But I need to gain this experience. It wasn't forthcoming yet. And I'm like, okay, instead of being idle, let me just learn it. And after the training and everything, I got 2 job offers. One of the top of my time. It was like, wow. So I'll be working in the office, and they'll be like, Jude, like, what are you? I'm like, you're wearing your slippers. I'm like, no, I made the slippers so in my veranda, like they were like, what are you doing here? I'm like,
like what am I doing
here? We are working. Like, oh no, you seem to have talent in this, you should be doing it. Why are you like, okay? So they were also encouraging me there. So I think I'm doing shoemaking, and I'm doing so I discovered I wasn't really I decided that I discovered rather I had passion more for commercial law than litigation. So of course I stopped active practice with litigation 2 years ago to focus more on business, entrepreneurship. I also have an NGO, Entrepreneur Women's Foundation. So now we've opened a manufacturing and made shoemaking company here in Abuja.
This passion has fully become a business.
Yes, in Otako. So we train also. So I train, and so I love it. Meanwhile, so that it can synchronize more with my music career. And so you mentioned also that you have an initiative where you train and you empower women. Is it in the shoemaking? Yeah. So it's called Entrepreneur Women's Foundation. It's a group of 5 ladies that decided to come together to make an impact. I'm into shoemaking. I'm the vice president. The president, she's into clothing. We have another person into makeup. So we came together. So we're using our businesses to also inspire young women. So we do training. We do branding and mentorship. Basically.
So how have you been able to synchronize all of these things together? Are they independent of each other, or have you come to a point where they are dependent on one another? You're finding ways to lap each of them.
So yeah, we learn every day. Basically, yes, they're kind of independent of each other. And I decided to form it into a group called Jesajun Group of Companies, where we have the entertainment, of course, the music, the Jesajun fashion, the Nawaj Realty. I'm also a realtor, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. We do sell houses, manage houses, properties. So yeah, and the Jesajun Limited for consultancy. So I'm more of a business consultant, consulting lawyer rather. So you have so many people that open businesses that don't even know what to do. They don't know jack about it. So my expertise is to guide them, do all their compliances with the Corporate Affairs Commission, different agencies. So yes, I've been able to synchronize it, but yes, it's very challenging because I'm doing so much and my phone is it's buzzing constantly, and it's just been God. So yeah, I plan. It's called planning. I wake up in the morning. Mind you, I don't sleep early. It's just I don't sleep early. So I just make sure I have people managing each of these businesses, saying down everything we're supposed to do for the day. For my music, as a good singer, you must practice. Otherwise, you just wake up.
So you have to wake up to do all the trainings.
Do my training, my do it. Do my training, take my hot water, begin planning for the day, my meetings. Yes, sometimes it's challenging because how do I now? Sometimes you have meetings for entertainment, you have meetings for law. What do you do?
And you also have to start preparing yourself mentally how to move from here to here, how to move from thinking creative to start talking about law.
So it's been very
all
creative. So what I just try to properly plan and reschedule and make things work.
Okay, talking about your initiative, how do you get to meet people? How do you guys meet people that you train? Is there a criteria or is it open? Where do they find you?
Yes, so basically what we do is, for example, we've run the last skills acquisition program we did, which was for young girls out there and we just put up the word out there. For example, we have our consultant put up the word out there to women in the rural areas. We go there. We would love to train youths in your community, so we'll go there and tell them. Then they will now be the ones to now reach out to these people and
bring them.
Yes, and bring them.
All right, you're a single lady. Available in the market or not?
Yes, I'm still single. Well, we're still. I know. So I posted something out there. So I was like, "You will not give me your heart." Well, finding love is not so easy. I'm still taking my time. I know with God, very soon something good will come. But for now, I'm just focusing on my business, focusing on God, and just.
Of all the things you do, is there anyone that is ranking top in priority? Like, I give this one more attention. Which is it? So that we close up on that.
Okay, so the one I give attention more to that without making an effort, of course, is my business law, because we constantly registering companies for new companies and of course managing existing businesses. So we do that with
without a heartbeat.
With a heartbeat.
So that is already airborne.
It's already airborne. So it's the music now that I'm trying to push, trying to build, and also making sure that it's balanced.
So you're going to do something for us now. You're going to give us. You've been doing it since. You're going to give us an a cappella sign out. And you're also going to introduce the cover of the next music we are going to play. And then we will sign out on you on this segment.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm really shy.
You are not. You can't be shy. All right. So camera is on you.
Okay, there's a song I really like, Flashlight. It just always reminds me of, whenever you're in a dark corner in life, it's good to know that there would always be a flashlight at the end of the tunnel because God is always watching. Because it goes like this. When tomorrow comes, I'll be on my own, feeling frightened of the things that I don't know. When tomorrow comes, and though the road is rough, I look up to the sky, and in the dark I found I lost up there and fly, and I sing along, I sing along, I sing along. I got all I need shine out of my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You getting me to the light.
Aww. Thank you so much,
Thank
Joy.
you.
It's been amazing having you on this morning.
Thank you so much.
And I'll leave you with the cover of that song, which she just gave us an a cappella rendition to. Enjoy.
When tomorrow comes, I'll be on my own, feeling frightened of the things that I don't know. When tomorrow comes, and though the road is rough, I look up to the sky, and in the dark I found I love so high when I fly, and I sing along, I sing along. I got all I need when I got you and I don't care, I miss your sweet light. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. Get on me through the night. Kickstart my heart when you shine out in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You get on me through the night. You're my flashlight, flashlight. You're my flashlight, flashlight. I see the shadows run beneath the mountain top. I'm not afraid, cause the rain won't stop. Cause you last away, you last away, you last away. I learned it when I got you and I don't care, I miss your sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You get on me through the night. Kickstart my heart when you shine out of my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. Get on me through the night. You're my flashlight, flashlight.
You're welcome to our review segment on New Dawn Nigeria. It's the weekend, and I'm sure a lot of us are looking for ways to take the stress out, to just relax and chill. And that's what we're bringing you, ways that you can chill and relax this weekend. And you notice I've been saying it's because I have the beautiful Patience City with me in the studio. Welcome, thank you for joining me today.
Yes, good to be
Yeah, so I know you have ideas for us to chill this weekend and take the stress. And I've been saying chill, and that is making reference to Netflix. And so we know you have a
Netflix and chill.
recommendation for us based on Netflix today. So what do you have for us?
So, there's this movie that has been trending, and I've watched it, and I feel it's actually one masterpiece that is world captivating, especially in the scene of cinematography and everything. So, like, this movie is an action movie, like, it's well packed. And the main actor is Chris Hemsworth. Yes. So this movie is really interesting. That is Extraction 2. Even though there has been Extraction 1, which I don't know if they named it, but it's Extraction that has been there on Netflix.
Yeah, Extraction.
But now this Extraction 2 came in. See, it has just taken action movies to another level.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So
very,
I've seen Extraction. I've not seen Extraction 2.
If
So
you
give me
love-
the gist.
if you
Give me the
love
short
action
gist,
movies-
not the spoilers, but just give me the gist. Give me
if
the
you
gist
love
of-
action movies, see, from the directing to the storyline, everything synchronized. Like
Okay.
they work together, especially the Tyler Rake. That's Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris actually was actually one of the best killed mercenary in the movie, and you need to see how this guy delivered in this movie.
So
If you
about
love
the
action movie,
we should go and watch it.
go and watch it.
The way you're so passionate about how we should watch this thing.
And
So we're
again,
really going
even
to-
though it's a good movie, it has its own emotional side of the movie.
Okay.
Yes, where he, a lot. I don't want to be a spoiler,
Well, yeah,
but
just
there has
do
been-
a
there-
little
there's been
bit,
this
you can
boy
spoil
that's-
us.
okay, really, this guy has been hired as a mercenary to go and, bring back a family that has been hidden, or that has been, yes, because of one thing that was happening with the father, because the father is really involved in some, this kind of Taliban
Yeah.
group, all this group, let me just say group of people that are in control of their country or a particular area in wherever they are living. All this gang, let me say a gang of people. So like it's this,
was
I don't
so-
want
he
to
was
be a
supposed to
spoiler,
go
but
and
let me
rescue
spoil
the
it.
family
Yeah, no,
again, or
his
bring
wife's
them-
sister. His wife's sister was actually one of the people that were involved in these very deadly gang activities.
Okay.
But it's her husband. But because women now, we have to live with our husband. We have to stay. We
No
have
matter
to.
what.
Yes, but it was turning as if it's an abuse to the
Oh.
woman. To the extent you see the man is coming to beat her in front of the kids and everything.
Oh.
But her sister, knowing fully well that this is what is going on with her younger sister, she now used her husband that left them when her son was dying or was sick. And later on, the man went with everything. He has issue with his own family, but because of his wife, he decided to go. Like, you need to see the risks that this man, like this guy, put in so much. If you see the way he acted this part,
And Tyler Reid had to be this. So I'm from the little
Tyler
gist
Rake.
you are giving, Tyler Reg.
Yes.
So the little gist you're giving, it feels like it's the same plot as Extraction. Like it's not
Yes.
the same storyline,
It's not the
but
same
it's the
storyline.
same plot. So he plays almost the same role because
Yes.
his personality is not changing. So
Yes.
it feels like this is going to be sequel upon sequel, like
Yes.
how we're having
Yes.
a James Bond. It's like we now have a how
This
we're
is the
having
two.
a
This is the two, yes.
Yeah, so we know that his lifestyle is going to continue. Okay, so I know that when we talk about good movies, you will hear that a good movie has to have suspense, comedy, action. It has to be balanced before we can see. So let me
This
take you
one,
on a
this
quick
one.
rating journey, right? In terms of
This
the
one.
suspense, does it keep us on our toes?
this one, as
Keeps
you're
us on
watching,
our toes.
you're like this. You're trying to see
What's going to happen
like you're
next?
on your toes watching the movie, because it's a very interesting action movie. Like, this is one action movie that, like, they raised the bar from just normal. You could see I see the storyline, the directing, the actors, the way
Yeah.
there's this synergy between them. Like, it was really interesting. Like, if you watch the movie, you will really understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Because it's one movie anybody out there should
Should
look
what?
up. Yeah,
Okay, so
should
in
watch.
terms of maybe giving us a little bit of comic relief, I know Chris Hemsworth has this thing where he does with his speech or with his body language. Does he make us laugh at least a little bit?
I think
Do
you
we-
it was just the emotional
Or
part.
he's just because I know
there was no any comedy in
Extraction,
it. So
he was gloomy, like you will almost think his life meant nothing to him.
this
he-
one is still the same thing, but he was putting it in his work.
Oh,
Yes, you could
okay.
see it in the action because he didn't leave anything. Like, he went straight to whatever he was there for, and he got it and
he
came back.
It was business.
If with we need to see the people that they were sent to get this family back, but in every way you come to him, he's always giving you back to back. He's always trying to protect his the skill that he put
it's
there.
Chris Hemsworth, so we can.
top-notch.
He's an A-lister there, so I think to an extent we can know what to expect from Extraction 2. So let me ask, what year was this movie released? So it's a
I
recent
think
movie.
it's a recent movie. I think the 2 is recently. I think
Yeah.
June 16.
Okay.
But Extraction has been there like 2020.
Oh, okay.
So
The sequel is
the sequel is Extraction 2.
Extraction 2, okay, and
Yes.
it was released in. And so where can we see Extraction to watch? Do we have to go to the cinema, or do we have to?
You can always download. If you know how to download movies, it's on Netflix. You download it and watch.
I'll watch it on Netflix.
Yes.
So
And make sure you have your popcorn, because even the popcorn you can.
You-
there are scenes that will make you to just
spill the
like,
popcorn.
yeah.
You are really making a case for Extraction too, and I really like that you're making a case for this movie, because
Yes.
I feel like this is what I and the family are going to spend the weekend
Please do,
during.
please do.
I feel like so. Let me last you before I let you go. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your personal rating for this movie? Drum roll. What is your
If
rating?
not
for
because
this
of
movie?
that boy that snitch on his mother, I'll say 10 over 10.
You say 10? Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow,
But let's just
you
give
see.
it 9 over 10.
Okay, so Extraction 2 has a rating of 9 over 10
From me.
from Patience. And welcome back. You just saw a review that we had done earlier on Extraction 2, and we thought to bring it back to you because we know that it's a very nice movie and something that you could use to chill over the weekend. Well, and on that note, that's about the size of what we can take on New Dawn Nigeria for this week. I hope that we've been great company to you this weekend. From me and the whole production crew of New Dawn Nigeria, this is wishing you a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week ahead.